Thomas Jefferson once said that a little bit of rebellion is good every now and then, because that's a good way to keep the government in check. That the people let their presence be felt, let the power be known, and they state their grievances, and sometimes terms that are not hospitable, if you get my drift. I like Thomas Jefferson for a lot of reasons. He's a wise man, and well, he was an agrarian, but him and Washington were really into this homesteading thing, I suppose. They did it in a bit bigger fashion. They had slaves. The first slaves in the States, they were Irish, as a matter of fact. They were not blacks. You can check that out. So, a little bit of rebellion is good every now and then. These days, we are being so fragmented. Media is really out of control. Hey, Mom. Du er med på tur. No, they kind of... Are they running the show? Sometimes I start to think that way. Politicians are, it seems, universally bought and paid for. Trudeau Castro is a big disgrace. Do not become like Trudeau. Wow. Did he call his parliament a bunch of goose-stepping swastika-wearing Nazis and refused to apologize? That's rich. A man, a prime minister that refuses to talk with his own people, who calls in UN troops and uses police force against his own people. Police force so far. The Canadians, they are unarmed people. Americans are not. I think, well, I hope not, but it seems like if things continue to develop this way, people will understand that the Second Amendment was never there for hunting. It was instituted because every now and then a little rebellion is good. It seems to be some animal tracks there. So, no, I wrote on my profile picture that if the left, the people on the left, got better at, say, developing their individuality. I mean, it's often... It's on the right also. They defend party politics over reason. I never understand that. Ja, ska vara med. Party politics over reason. So this big disgrace. I think that's what leads us to where we are today. Also here in Norway, it's bad. And what I've been saying lately is that if you like Trudeau, you're gonna love Gahr. I don't think he's much better at all then. But I'm really rooting for you Canadians these days. If you are any Canadians watching, I have one Canadian that I've learned a lot from several years ago, Dean Clifford. I study his. He put it all out. In those times, he must be around 40 hours of law, common law, maritime law, admiralty law, and whatnot. All in plain English. Spoken by a carpenter. He got put in jail. And he started teaching people about their rights. The police just come and summarily took him while he was still on podium. Peaceful. He was the first that warned against Trudeau that I know of from Canada. That could have been around 2012. Actually, maybe a little bit earlier. I'm not sure. But I don't follow Canadian politics that much. In any case, as you know, I'm not really much in favor of social credit system, Chinese dictatorships, or any of that malarkey. I hate technocracy. That everything is going to be, it's going to be so great. We get an AI, artificial intelligence, to decide our fates. Read some books. Not just the one you find on the shelf on the bookstores, not things promoted by Amazon. Dig deep. You'll find the truth there somewhere between the lines. Ikke det sant, mor? Du har vært med å lese noen bøker. So, yeah. A war story about my father. He was a teenager in those days. Maybe around 14 or top 16 years old, I think. He and a friend, they were up on the high mountain. Beyond. More like up beyond like that. Mountains like that. They were snaring for fowl. Because it's good terrain, and like when the Nazis came, they were busy killing and getting killed. I always say that when emperors declare war, good people die on both sides. That's what I'm saying. So anytime war is going on, say det. So they were up on the mountain slopes. Du kan si det, mor. Skal vi gjøre her? God plass. Sett meg oss her. Det er greit. And they came. It seems they were about the first people to find a wrecked plane, crashed plane, Lancaster. It had been down after being to Poland, dropping bombs. No doubt, many civilian casualties there. Innocent civilian casualties. Because people just didn't stand up against Hitler while they had the chance. So the consequences got much worse. The crashed plane, there were Brits. And you know what? There were Canadians there. They are now buried in my hometown, and we honor them each 7th of May, 17th of May, our national holiday, Constitution Day, for their sacrifices for our freedom. It's not war. It's not war yet. It might turn into something a little bit more kinetic later down the line as the pandemic scam is unraveling. And now, hopefully, if we just can get these powers that be just to strike any notion of social credit and quack pass out of the books, just burn it. Take a big old shit on the ashes, wrap them in paper and send them to Brussels. So we don't want it. We can take care of ourselves just fine, thank you. The people have voted twice. We don't want to join the European Union. Doing fine. But our politicians are making a mess. Sowing discord, sowing this division, spreading disinformation, ostracizing people. I'm an extremist, I suppose. But I am an extremist. I mean, I think by most measures I would be an extremist. That's okay. I can take it. But there's a lot of really moderate people that also understand that this game has run its length. You get me? And that is when, the people in the middle are starting to feel the squeeze, the large majority. Then we're going to be sorry that we didn't contain it while it was containable. Put it that way. Or the politicians are going to be very sorry if we start to, round them up. I mean, as I say, in as far as they are useful for any practical work, it would be nice to crack the whip. And I want to have this field here cleaned by tomorrow. Chop, chop. Are you not going to get any food? Let them have a small taste of their own medicine. I wouldn't have any remorse or conscience for that. But this abject slavery that we are slowly and steadily being moved and coddled into, I am very much against it. So was my father, even as a teenager. They were up several times to the plane crash site. They enjoyed playing with the guns, trying to fix them, trying to get the machine gun to work. They didn't, it exploded. So eventually they went for just bringing the ammunition down to town, handing it over to the people on the home front so they could use it later down the line if that would be needed. That's good. So that was what was going on when these Germans were coming up. German squad saw my father and his friend being around this plane, and they came up, where's your passport? Papers. Papieren. Can you imagine that? Walking around your own stomping ground since you was a kid. And some uniformed goons. Goose-stepping uniformed goons. That comes from another country. Like thieves in the night. they take the resources people are not. I mean, one of the reasons for the snaring of fowls, one of the stories I grew up with, why a country people and that's another bridge that needs to be passed over. Traditional divide between city slickers and down home people like me is that when times are good, people flock to the cities because of all the opportunities a city offer. And when it's war or hard times, I mean, when it's good times, also running farms, everything is getting legislated out of business. I mean, it's really hard to run a farm. Because then again, these politicians. But we were talking about Nazis. Seems they are not so. Hey. Papers. Habst du Papieren? Was ist los? Before I do, why are you walking here? I live here. Who are you? Are you asking? It's none of your business. But they have guns. They have the power, they have the planes, they have the technology. So, at least what we can do in this, we can increase our spiritual fortitude, our intestinal fortitude, testicular and vaginal. Many people don't know, but the female part of the resistance played perhaps an even larger role than what the men did. Many times they ran some really big risks, making sure that information got in the right hands, that people didn't get discovered and such like. But it's very little talked about. I know there has been one book written about it. One book. But maybe there are more. I hope so. That if you are like one of those women rights activists, that might be a good thesis for your PhD, that you write about women during the resistance. I don't know. But what I'm telling you what Thomas Jefferson told. A little bit of rebellion is good every now and then, just to keep the forces that be in check. They've been running unhampered now for far too long. I believe in prayer, really do. And I also think that prayer makes you endure hardships much better than you say if you just worldly. You know what I mean? There are such things. Me in my situation, I've noticed so many times. I've said it so many times. 7 years since I moved here. Things are not entirely fixed, but they are heading very much in the right direction, despite everything. But what I don't understand is, how did I manage to stay here for 7 years? And then I always like, well, it must be the prayers, it must be that spirit that resides in me. The spirit that I greet each morning in solemn prayer. And that I bid good night each evening in solemn prayer. good thoughts and wishes of people. My good thoughts and wishes for them. I think that's some of the answer. And also, strength you develop in your heart that well, we are weaponless, except our spirits. So I think that's where, because I don't like violence, like most people, I don't like violence. I choose that path. If things go kinetic, which I might will, I already told you, good people do die on both sides in conflict. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you with that. Hope you find some courage from these words. It's a great day. Gonna have some visitors again tomorrow. Some interesting. We might have a video of it. We shall see, but it might take some weeks. We shall see. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Death to New World Order. They are on the run. They are making so many mistakes now. It's crazy. So I definitely think they are on. I definitely think they're stressed. I think it's just to keep badgering them. I think there's a lot of people in the police force and in authorities in general that are good, honest people that really don't like what is happening. They don't like the orders they are being given. And from what I understand, key places people are resigning. I'm not sure if resigning is the best thing, because we need good people in prominent positions at all times. But where your conscience leads you. There you go. Well, see you soon. Ciao. Take care. I love you.